Hello and welcome to the Quibber channel. I am Jason, your host. I'm just getting ready to go now. I've been to the Tesco. I picked up some bits and pieces. I picked up some sweeties for the dogs and a few things that I want to test out with my diabetes to see whether or not my body can handle them. Once you've set up yourself with diabetes and you've got your sugars balanced and everything, your blood sugars balanced, then you start to check what different foods really affect you, because everybody's body is absolutely different. So I've just bought a can of boiled potatoes, some stewed steak, a little bit of casserole, tin casserole, some processed peas, and some super noodles. I want to see how my body handles super noodles. Now, this is all just to test this. The whole point is I've got my blood sugars under pretty good control now, and so I can take the time and take the chance of trying other things now intelligently in there. Like, I can have oatcakes. Oatcakes have only a low to medium glycemic index, even there. So a treat can be an oatcake with melted cheese. Well, I'm talking the Staffordshire oatcakes, not the ones that are actual biscuits. They're like a wrap, for those that don't know. So I've tested them, and I can have them, and I can have them with a sausage and cheese in them, or bacon and cheese, or even tomato cheese, and they don't make my blood sugar spike. And it's all about trying to minimise the amount of blood sugar in that you need. A certain amount of blood sugar in for UK it's around, healthy is between 5 and 6, something like that, 5 and 6. And for type 2 diabetic, after you've eaten, 2 hours after you've eaten, if it's below 8.5 and that, then you're doing okay. Certain things will boost your blood sugar to the stratosphere, like fried food can do it for some reason. What else? Any kind of cakes, ice cream, sweets, except for very dark chocolate, say about 85% dark chocolate, you can have in moderation. But nearly every kind of sweet in that is pretty much pure sugar, empty calories, and will skyrocket the blood sugar. And that's where the damage comes from. Your body's blood is not supposed to have a really high sugar count, and it actually damages your blood cells, it damages your kidneys, it damages your whole. They call something called neuropathy, which means your toes and feet can become numb and can fall off. Basically, your capillaries, your veins and everything can become damaged. High sugar in your actual body is a slow, chronic death sentence. It slowly kills you. Of course, there's the other side to diabetes, and that is where your body can't cannibalize any kind of sugar, and it's really hard for it without insulin, and therefore you can go the other way, which is where you can go into, if your blood sugar goes down too far, you can't actually survive, and will go into a diabetic coma and die. So either way, too much or too little, you've got to balance the in between. Now, once you've got diabetes, I'll wait till we're over there. because there's a lot of vehicles. Come on. Let me off. Let me across. Let me across. I want to go across. Yep, we can cross now. Once you've got diabetes, you have to do the job that your body would normally do. Your body would normally keep an eye on your sugar levels, and only what is needed by your body would be in your blood. But without that control, you have to control it. You have to do things like, if you have a lot of fibre and whole wheat, that kind of thing, can actually help slow down the release of it. And slowing down the release of sugar in your food and the release of the energy in your food means that your body doesn't spike in blood sugar, because those spikes basically turn your blood into a damage flowing through your body, and that's not good. So it's kind of crazy, because some people think it won't happen to them, and I've noticed there's some people on the diabetes subreddits and that who go fast and loose and eat whatever they want and that. But I've seen the end point. I aren't just going by doctors saying, oh, you can't do this. Paola spent a lot of time when her kidneys failed in the renal wards. Now, the renal wards are a place where a lot of people, unfortunately, can die. It can be death. So this one person we knew in the renal wards was basically at the end of her life. She had never been able to control her diabetes. She admitted herself it was her own fault. She literally wouldn't stop drinking, and alcohol, and the amount of fucking sugar in alcohol is crazy. She loved her cake. She thought that life wasn't worth living without all her special treats and cakes and candy and everything like that. And I saw this person basically when they were waiting to die, because both of her legs had been amputated below the knee because neuropathy has happened, and there been damage to the nerves and damage to the actual blood supply, which meant her legs basically died and she had to have them put on. One of her hands was completely gone, the other one was missing a few fingers. She was blind in one eye, and her other eye was only at like 30% vision. It was horrifying to see. She was a lovely person, that's the thing. She was absolutely fucking lovely person to talk to. She didn't hate the world, she didn't blame the world or anything for this, she wasn't angry. She was just resigned by this point. She did regret it by the end, because she says she knew she wouldn't be around to see her granddaughters grow up and stuff like that. But she never thought it would get this bad, and she just let it happen. And she was so bad that they couldn't find a single vein in her body that could be used to give intravenous fluid. Not one vein in her entire body was working to the point where you think they had all been damaged by thingy. And I talked to the doctors, and the doctors are like, it's so frustrating for them, because all the help is there. When you get diabetes, especially in the UK, the knowledge is there. The knowledge is there on the internet. The knowledge is there in places like the diabetes subreddit and that. There's mountains and mountains of advice and help that will help you to navigate and deal with all these scary things and live with it. Yes, you will have a reduced lifespan. It's just one of those things. The damage does happen very, very tiny, gradually over time. Like, I've got to go for a hospital appointment to see a specialist eye doctor to check if there's any granular damage, any tiny little bits of damage to my eyes. But I plan to do everything I can to help my body survive for as long as possible. Just like I will do everything I can to do with this cancer scare. I hope it's just a benign tumour. I hope it's just something that we can deal with. And if I do survive this, then you will notice I will go out more in that, because it wakens your brain up to think, shit, I should be appreciating my life. And so it's another thing that Paola pretty much taught me, because her life, the amount of damage done to Paola's body over 20 years, that slowly took away everything she could do, and she still fought every day, and she still appreciated life every day. How can I do any less? How can I put any less in appreciating every day I've got? I have limitations. There's things I can't do. There's limitations with my autism and everything. But I'm going to make sure I do everything I can to appreciate life, because there's millions of people out there that don't get that chance. Sorry for the rant, but yeah. I can never understand people who give up and who don't take basic things. There's a lot of no sugar, there's a lot of low glycemic stuff that you can sort out, that you can have to help your body survive. Oh, they're going to be doing some resurfacing work here, which it probably does need. From the 10th of September to the 12th of September, so not too bad. Oh, thank you. I mean, I was amazed at how much stuff there is out there for people who got diabetes. And once again, I'm lucky because my diabetes doesn't need insulin. Not yet or anything. I can cope with it without medication by just changing my diet, by limiting what I do. So I'll be turning off this in a minute because I'm getting close back to home. we've talked about quite a lot. I will upload these in a little bit when I get home. So I'll stop here and shut down everything. I'll say bye-bye.